Testing, 1, 2. Right, so welcome to Mr. Wizard's weekly mini workshop. This is the first in an ongoing series. Intent is to have a focused 30 minutes total, 20 minutes on detailed discussion, and leave up to 10 minutes for follow-up questions, general group participation. It focuses on the whole subject of accountability, potentially what benefit getting in or even starting a accountability group have for you, and the benefits, and then some of the challenges around it. I'm going to share my screen. Right. Are you seeing my screen? Right, so that's me in my wizard outfit. I didn't choose to suit up today. This is more wizard business casual, but it's Sunday, so it's a little bit more comfortable. I wrote a blog post a little while back that kind of covers some of the points. Just use that as the elaborate, discuss a little bit, what is accountability and why people would benefit from it. Here's some stats. They're research based that Stanford did a study, and then some other universities have done studies that came up with similar numbers. So not surprisingly, 92% of people who set New Year's goals never actually achieve them. By the way, say that's only 8% of the population doesn't suck at achieving goals. My gut feel is that number is a little better for entrepreneurs and business people, but based on my experience, then high energy, highly motivated entrepreneurs and business owners, it's kind of a challenge in this area. So having a goal and writing it down, just that step, it increases the probability of successful completing the goal. The next step after that would be consciously deciding that you're going to achieve a goal and committing yourself to doing it. So that takes your probability of successfully completing up to 25%. Deciding, when you're going to do it, setting a target date, that raises the probability of success to around 40%. And planning how you're going to do it, ideally writing down, breaking out the goal into tasks, and that takes a probability of success 50%. Next level is committing to someone else that you're going to do it. It starts getting us into the whole area of accountability and working with other people to help support you. Right. You have a 65% probability of successfully completing the goal, which is still not overwhelming, but you're starting to move in the right direction. This up is, you can take it up to, I've seen a couple of different numbers, 85 to 95% probability to achieve the goal if you have a regular accountability appointment with either an individual or a group who is committed to your success. Having a group, and I have or work with a daily accountability group, so it's a group of people. We get on a call Monday through Friday. It's 30 minutes in the morning. And that provides a very useful framework to support me. It's similar to like having a running buddy in some ways, or a gym buddy, where if you have someone else that's to doing what you're doing and doing it with you, much more likely, and you're much more motivated to actually do it. I think it was on that said 80% of life is showing up. And whether that number is exactly right or not, that's true. A big part of success is just taking that action. Just so for me, having a daily accountability group helps to really support that. I might wake up in the morning and feel a little bit, I don't know, I will say lazy, but not especially motivated. I really need to get on that call, and then once I do, kind of get my motor running, things start clicking, and then discussing with the call, here's done yesterday in the content business, here's what I'm planning on working on today. So I would recommend, if you have a goal or vision, something you're trying to accomplish, that you try to find or even potentially start, your own. Now there's things that need to take into consideration. You have like-minded folks, so they need to have some pretty reasonable level of motivation and be working towards important and significant. Now, the context of my accountability group is all working on developing, growing our businesses. If that's not your big goal, it could be health related, could be relationship related, be related, but be finding some folks that are working towards trying to accomplish something, in the same ballpark of what you're working toward. They got you. So what things you'd want to avoid, you're looking around for folks to start a group with, would be aren't really that motivated. When I'm flying folks for my coaching business, so I'm a business coach, I ask them, is on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your level of motivation to accomplish this thing that you just told me that you want to achieve, or a big thing that you want to avoid? And if at least 80%, then I'm not interested in working with them, because I think I don't think it's effective. Thing you want to take into account is that habit, maybe they're so self-absorbed, they're like energy vampires, so they're not to necessarily provide that much support for the rest of the call, be a lot of work and really bring that much benefit, or even kind of suck the energy group. So that have some, that's the morning, everybody that gets on our call is 100 woo woo woo. And what's of a ability group is you've got people that can a little bit off or down. You've got people that can encourage and support you, but you don't want someone in your group that's all it is, in the negative. So the other thing is you need someone who's going to facilitate and in person. I've seen masterminds where they like roll around, success, that's facilitation. I don't think that's as effective as having one person that's kind of responsible for the overall keeping things flowing, the discussion. Basic agenda for just a simple accountability is each person in turn describes, here's why yesterday, here's what I'm planning on working on today, and at least team a heads up if they hit any impediments or blocks, and then we cover everybody, and then we have 15 minutes typically set aside, we call it the parking lot, where we can do a dive and answer. Anybody can bring something that they want to discuss and get input from the rest of the team to the team, describe what it is, ask for input, and that one of the other benefits of having a group is everybody brings difference in knowledge. So many times we've had folks who say, I need some help in a particular thing, and one or more other people on the team can immediately jump in and say, oh yeah, I've done that, or I've done something similar, here's how you do it, even share their screen and walk you through it. If you don't have some big goal or vision, something that accomplished, and you're about motivation, but there's really a fit of having an accountability group if there's nothing that you want to be held accountable, or nothing that you really need support in. So Gina's joined me on today. So again, that's an example of we are in that accountability group I just mentioned together, along with some other folks, and she showed up as my funds, expecting to have a whole, but I do it weekly, and again, it's kind of a commitment on my part to keep use content, and kind of grow my audience over time, and having a commitment every week to do it, and then in the call, kind of a way of me, making them. So Gina showed up, and that's kind of what can happen if you've got a support group. So Gina, let's talk just a little bit about your experience with getting on the having a daily accountability group. Things that's helped you. If there are any any issues you have with it, or challenges, or what's anything that you consider to be kind of the downside.
Yeah. Well, first, I'm in Eastern Daylight Time, so my workday starts at 9 o'clock, Monday through Friday. And that is have the accountability meeting. And so that's because when you work for yourself and you're working from home, it's really important schedule, and that, you're moving forward every day. Now, of course, you could make a decision one day that, all right, I'm going to the ability call, but now I'm going to take a break. But essentially, it gets going, it gets you rolling.
Yep.
So that's what's really important for me. The other, there are some I find very difficult to do. And so our accountability from the group, I have to do this task by the end of the day. And just the fact I would have to meet you the next day at 9 o'clock and say, I didn't do it,
Yeah.
is enough for me to get to do it. And typically these are boring, repetitive tasks.
Yeah.
And so that's been very helpful. The next thing, the meeting of the minds, that all of the different ideas that people have, like if you have a little problem, different people will have different ways of solving the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very helpful, and it helps you move along. So for me, excellent. And I really don't think I would have made the progress I made in my business were it not for the accounting group.
Right. Because I have the same experience. Some things that, particular example of, I'm trying to get back into being more consistent with some basic weight, say 2 to 3 times. So, but then some days I kind of blow it off. But when I schedule in the morning, okay, I've got 30 minutes of weight work blocked out. I've done this sometimes where I say, all right, you guys, I'm committed to getting 30 minutes of weight work in. You guys ask me tomorrow morning on the call, did I actually do it? And then I've had the experience, it came up, okay, it's time to do it. And I started thinking, yeah, I'd like to blow it off. And I get, no, I'm not going to do that because I'd be embarrassed, or, people are going to ding me if I get on the call, and they'll give me the horse laugh. Steve, you didn't really get it done, did you?
So we keep you accountable. We make sure that you lift your weights.
Yeah.
And take your steps.
Yell it on my steps. I've got that kind of pretty much dialed in now. It took me a little while to build between the mini tramp and my little treadmill, but I've pretty well. Again, I have a little like mini competition with the other folks where we're competing to see who can get the most steps in. So again, that's a little bit of extra support or incentive. The thing is, it's really good to have someone who understands the challenges that you're facing when you're working on your big thing. In our case, developing a business. I mean, it's not an easy thing. There's
right.
Difficulties and some days and others, but having a group you can all support, and you have even for people, their spouse, their best friend, they're not going to understand all the challenges that people are facing. They're not really going to they probably don't even know what you do every level of detail. And having a group that does that, it's very very empowering. I mean, it has a core group of people who can relate in detail, and they understand, and on any given man you're feeling a little down or challenged, they can help you up, and then they can also help you celebrate, like, woo woo, I just added 2 new coaching clients, or I just got this accomplished. It's to Napoleon way back. I think he's the first about masterminds. So accountability, not exactly a mastermind, because it's a little bit more focused, and you need to have a pretty scripted schedule, because you want to make sure everybody has a chance to talk about it. Here's your day. Here's what I worked on today, and having that 15 minutes or so parking lot. Every once in a while we'll go a little bit over if we're really actively working on something as a team. That part you a chance to really kind of move in semi-mastermind mode, where as a team you're all working on help someone resolve a particular challenge or issue, or take that step. And it's been my experience that sometimes when I'm explaining somebody something that I am pretty well, I actually get a better on it. And I have ideas about, I just thought about something I can do like just example, on my business website,
Right.
well, I was just count someone or coaching somebody. Okay, maybe you want to do this. Um, and then we've been, what, a year now? I can't even tell you useful ideas and things, different perspectives I've gotten that I would never have got if we didn't have, our daily group.
Yeah. You've been doing it for a year and a half. I think I started maybe about 7, 8 months ago.
Okay, it seems like longer, but you may be right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got, since you're the only live, have you got any other questions or discussion? I think we moved into the follow-up discussion period. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the other we did is we had as part of the accountability group, we had extra things like we tried to watch training there, had our own masterminds. So the accountability group can really, branch out into different things that are useful, defined useful. And then we keep them going for as long as we want. And then when there's lack of interest, then we end them.
yeah,
And so to me, it's a very flexible thing to do. And it's also, again, I've gotten out of videos and suggestions I probably would never have gotten had I some other amending them. So
yeah, that's a good. Optionally, if say there's a particular deep thing that we get a kind of consensus on as a team, hey, let's focus on a particular detailed subject like funnels, being traffic to your website or to your lead pages or whatever.
right.
Then we can just block out as a separate meeting. I think we're going on like Friday afternoon. And focus in particularly on your point, that gives you flexibility. Anytime we get into a subject in our parking lot that we can't really do full justice to during the 15, we just say, hey, why don't we tee this up for, a little mini mind. Usually we block out an hour and then land on a scheduling time that works for everybody. So.
The other thing also been very supportive of each other. And so when we want to launch something new, like for example, I'm here for members of my accountability group. Our accountability group has been at other events that I've done. And so you have kind of like a ready audience for your new initiatives.
Yep.
Because your accountability group is there supporting you. So.
Yep. Oh, and that picked out a little mini theme song for today. I won't play the whole.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
Favorites.
Yeah. All right. Well, Gina, thank you very much. Great
Right.
rest of your day, and I'll see you
tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow morning.
Yep. Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay.